be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty.
All right. It is 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 1800 UTC. It's Wednesday. What is today? February 5th. So it's our first live stream in February of 2025. Hope everyone's doing well. Where I live, we're like in the middle of this nice warm spell. Um, so I'd rather be outside, but I'm actually happy to be here and working on this. So today's topic is the Yokohama Store Release 1. Yokohama was released early access or preview or whatever you want to call it last week, last Thursday. They had their announcement. And what we typically see with the ServiceNow store stuff is about 4 times a year I get smushed. get with I get creamed with a bunch of app updates. You can see last February we had 826. In November of last year, 926 newer updated applications in the ServiceNow store. So this February, that number right now stands at 929. Now, that's from last Thursday when I ran the crawler. I'll probably run it again this weekend because there won't be an episode this week unless I miraculously get done ahead of time. But I'm not rushing to try to get done. I want to let it release on Monday like usual. So that number will probably go up from 929 to something else. So, hey, Michael, uh, why didn't your comment show up? I have my comment stuff, and Michael landed, but I don't see the comment. Let's see if I can fix that. Just lost the window. There it is. Oh, the comment showed up in one place, but not the other place. Let me try activating LinkedIn again. Close. And just refreshed it. Okay, I think I got it now. So Michael, glad you're here. I'm not able to show your comment on the screen for some reason. The tool that I'm using it didn't show up, but happy you're here. So 929 new or updated applications for basically the ServiceNow Yokohama release, essentially. Hey, Samson's here. Nice, Samson. Good to see you. Got your mug up on the screen there. So I fixed the comments. Thanks. But so 929, but let's take a look. What I wanted to do first, I wanted to show you kind of my process. So basically with the ServiceNow Store Highlights series, it's been running for like 2 years now. I basically look at, what's new or updated and try to categorize each application. So is it a new release? Is it something interesting that I think people might want to pay attention to? Would be a highlight. A lot of the applications ServiceNow puts out, there's like their pieces, like one application might have 10 store applications associated with it, and so some of those store applications, there's not really any changes, but they have to version them because they're a dependency on like a primary application. So I'll categorize those as compatibility updates, and you'll see as I go through here in a minute. If it's a really minor thing, or they've like added a new feature plus fixing things, I'll classify that as minor updates. A ghost application is an application used to be in the store and it's not there anymore. There were none of those for last week's release. Fixes are exactly what they sound like, some minor little fix, fixing some things. Downgrades, occasionally we see, and it might come up in this episode, that an application gets downgraded. So it's like version 10, but all of a sudden now it's at version 7. You can still see 10 up there, but 7 is all you can get from the store. So I'll classify those as downgrades. Release notes fails, you're definitely going to see those because ServiceNow doesn't always do the best job. But it's essentially, I can't figure out what changed in the application, so it's a fail. And I'm basically don't know what to tell you what updated. And then not screened is what I have left to screen. And you can see I have 620 left to screen. It was 700 and something yesterday. I finally got it down to what you see right there. Basically, I come in, I try to do like, so that I don't go crazy, I'll do like a batch of 10. I'll just review 10 and then go do some other work and then come back and do a batch of 10. And I just slowly whittle away when there's big numbers like this. I might do it for the smaller numbers too. The only thing that's automatic for categorization are the new releases. So the way that I've set up the flow in ServiceNow, it can figure out, oh, that didn't exist before, that must be a new release. And so it'll auto categorize those as new releases. And I have thought, and I said it on the channel and I've mentioned it in my episodes, I've thought about introducing some automation around what I'm going to show you today when I'm actually doing the review process. And I haven't pulled the trigger on it because I could very easily just, make a REST call to OpenAI or some local large language model and say, categorize this in one of these categories. But the problem with doing that is that I'm not learning anything. And so I've kept this manual process because I find value in seeing what exactly ServiceNow is doing, what kind of updates they're making. Are there any patterns that my brain might identify as I'm going through it? And it's just one more exposure for me to what's coming out new from ServiceNow or from third parties. So I've chosen to keep this manual process. So realize that I could automate this, but I'm purposely keeping it manual, like you'll see here. But what I did want to cover first, before I showed you that, was the new releases. There were 79 of them last week, last Thursday, and there's a couple of non-ServiceNow ones tucked in here too. That's typically when I do the episode, I won't review 929 applications. I'll focus on the non-ServiceNow stuff to highlight the third-party apps, and then I'll include a link to my blog that will have all of um, the other the ServiceNow categorizations. And last time I think I did a spreadsheet in WordPress because it was just so much. I wasn't going to sit there and try to copy paste it. But so let's take a look at this. We've got, and I'm going to go through these just to call out anything new or interesting. But advanced response automation for smart assessment. Smart assessment is something that came out in the Xanadu release, I think, or it might have been, maybe it was Washington or Vancouver, but and I installed it, I haven't played around much with it, but in the there's a risk assessments and there's advanced risk assessments. So I think this is them just kind of folding in the smart assessments into the advanced risk application, I think, is what that's there. But I'm going to hopefully play with that one day. So I thought that was interesting. There's a new AI governance workspace, AI Ops Leap. I don't even know what that is. What does Leap mean? Accelerate resolution, amplify automation. This is an innovation lab offering. So the innovation lab offerings are, you can't put them in a production instance. There's no support, no warranties. Let's take a look at what this looks like. Potential benefits. Oracle database instance crashes, resolution steps generated by AI. Interesting. There's just so much going on with the AI right now. It's like really hard to keep up with. App best practices shared. You know, I saw this when I was going through the App Engine Center. I think it's App Engine Center. So they start with A's. And there was an instant scan suite to alert you to any best practices for an application. So this must be part of that application, the app best practices shared. Use this suite to see if your app on a non-prod instance is ready for production. That sounds pretty cool. What is it looking for? Upgradability, performance, security, manageability, user experience. Test failures occurred during the instant scan. Yeah, I should run my apps through that and kind of see what that looks like. But all right, Atlassian administration spoke. So that's another spoken integration hub. Basic scoring for smart assessments. So again, they're enhancing the smart assessments we saw there at the top. Business location. Well, that's a generic title for an application. Let's see. Automatically, business location enables support for businesses that interact with customers through physical channels such as stores, branches, functions, franchises, and dealerships. Oh, okay. Yeah, I actually had last year a customer, a bakery, that probably could have benefited from this business location. That's pretty cool. So customer service management, I think. Care team operations for biomed, care team operations for healthcare IT, a care team portal. Let's take a look at the portal one. I actually have background in healthcare, so this is neat to see them expanding in this space. Provides a responsive portal experience, can be used by care teams in the hospitals to report and track issues for support services departments. Can be used on a standalone portal or embedded in EMR systems. Electronic medical record is what that means. No pictures on that one, but sounds like they're just expanding in that space. Case management for invoice operations, claims for reporting. Tenon's got their content viewer component. Tenon's like one of the only third parties that I've seen kind of match what ServiceNow's doing, how they're architecting their apps by having like individual components as an app, a scoped app. So Tenon's been doing that for a while. So they'll come through with a flurry of 20 or so app updates sometimes, but it looks like they got a new component. We got the conversational SMS integration with AWS end user messaging. Credentials core. What is credentials core? We're going to start Credentials core is used to store various forms of digital credentials such as badges, awards, certifications. It holds the data about the user and their enrollment status in the badge provider entity along with data on the associated badges for the user. Oh, it's part of the Credly. Okay. Sounds very HR kind of, yeah, it's an employee workflow kind of thing. So HR kind of stuff. Store details and enrollment status. Yeah, okay. And right behind that was the Credly Spoke. Um, Customer Central is a new. Wait, there was a Customer Central before. How is this new? Provide agents to access customer history details and information on their cases. Look at version 27.3.1. This is not a new application. Why did I pick it up as a new application? Let's check out the application record in my. This is my database where I'm keeping track. And yeah, this is the first time I've seen it because there's no version history on it. So what the heck? Why am I? Oh, you know what this might be? Okay. This is a good education point. So ServiceNow is still migrating a lot of their plugins to the store model. So I bet this used to be a plugin, not in the store, and they've migrated it to the store, which is why it has version 27. But this is the first time that I've actually seen it. And just to confirm that, I'll go to all the store applications in my instance, and we'll just search for customer portal. I don't even see the one that's on the episode we just did. UI component and AI search. Did I get the wrong name? Let's look at that again. Customer Central, sorry. Customer Central. Yeah, so this is the only app that I have, and it's new, but it's not new. So I'm actually going to change that designation. We're looking at new releases here. And let's change this from a new release to, there was no release notes on it. Let's see, scroll down to the bottom. Sometimes release notes, customer activity, customer information, Yokohama compatible. I'm gonna just call this a minor update since it's really not a new application. So that's the kind of things I'm, weeding through and filtering and sorting through in order to make the ServiceNow Store Highlights episode valuable to you if you're actually someone who watches that. And speaking of, I don't know if everybody knows this, but for every episode of ServiceNow Store Highlights, there's a YouTube video, there is a blog post with all the content. So if we go over to my blog, justin.house, justin.house, if you see every week, we've got a ServiceNow Store Highlights episode, and there's links to how to get to it, listen to the podcast. So there's a podcast version of it available in your favorite podcasting store. And then I group the categories, so a little table of contents to get to maybe the new releases, and then I list the new releases. And if you click on any of these, it'll take you straight to the ServiceNow store. So it's really meant to be helpful to you as an admin or as someone, a product owner for ServiceNow, to have kind of at your fingertips what happened in the ServiceNow store the week prior. So there's that. There's a YouTube video, there's a blog post, there is a podcast, which I just mentioned. There'll always be a post on LinkedIn, and then I follow up that post with a carousel of all the new applications the next day. It's like a Tuesday, and that's meant to be like a visual, just quick, and you can hit not the right click, you can hit the button on the right and kind of see visually what the new applications are without having to go to the blog, without having to watch the video. So if I don't get a lot of feedback on the ServiceNow Store Highlights episodes, and which is okay. It's more, this is helpful for me, regardless of if it's helpful for somebody else. But if anybody else has their ideas about like how to better expose some of this, especially when we get massive numbers like this of like 930 applications. But all right, customer service install base characteristics, base management. So this is customer service app, customer service with service portfolio management. SPM. Oh no, don't use SPM. ServiceNow is so bad about this. SPM was formerly strategic portfolio management, and now they're going to start using it for service portfolio management. Great, thank you, ServiceNow. Okay, yeah, I won't complain about that too much. Digital experience score. So this is part of the DEX application, I guess. Digital end user experience. Let's see. Prerequisite DEX framework, digital experience survey feedback app. What does this one do? Achieve full visibility into digital employee experiences and identify opportunities for enhancement. With the ability to drill down into application key features, score overview, overall app experience overview, device group experience. Okay, so just some scoring metrics for the DEX application. Digital resilience incident reporting. Man, more incidents. Digital incident reporting. It's part of operational resilience, and so we've got another incident record type in the platform. DER Smart Assessment. That's what that's showing. DER, great acronym. Okay, that's digital resilience incident. Let's see, Dun and Bradstreet Direct Plus Spoke, probably for the financial service operations applications. Email interaction core, email interaction for CSM. What are they calling out separate? Is it inbound email action? Core app to enable creation of email interactions. Data model to support email interaction. I know they introduced in I saw it in a previous one, or made it in the one of the webinars, that there's now equivalent email capabilities in the legacy classic UI to mirror what's available in workspaces. So I wonder if this is related to that. Might be. External content connectors, external content. Okay. Oh man, you know how often when I was in sales, we got asked about SharePoint or Confluence knowledge articles being surfaceable inside of ServiceNow. Seamlessly connect external data sources to AI search for a unified, secure, and intuitive search experience. Well, that's pretty cool. What do they have? SharePoint and Confluence, the two that I just brought up, because it does come up all the time. So that's interesting. Those are the two use cases showing there. So it's kind of monitoring the crawl details. Interesting. I wonder if I could like imitate their crawling for all the crawling that I do. I have two main apps that crawl. The one we're looking at now for ServiceNow Store Highlights, and then I have one that's broken at the moment for the release notes. And I don't, I'll show you why it's broken. It used to be. Let me pull down the URL so you can see what I'm typing. It used to be docs.servicenow.com, but if you pay close attention, they've redirected that automatically to www.servicenow.com/docs. And that basically ruined my sitemap. Basically, I had like a couple thousand, release note pages in my database. And so that doubled as the new URL came out. And so I've got a lot of cleanup to do. And I've been busy focusing on ServiceNow Store Highlights before I got into the release notes. So that's cool to see. There's Confluence and SharePoint connectors already there, already built. So I know a lot of people are going to be happy about that. I just wonder what the cost is going to be to do that. So external legal service center. This is interesting. Ooh, look at that. That's our first Ghost application. So they published it and then they took it down. So I will update that to a Ghost. That'll at some point it'll reappear and then it'll show up in another episode and I'll call it a restored application. But it appeared and it's gone. External trigger builder. Well, that sounds interesting. External trigger builder enhances trigger builder with the capability to build and save your own webhook-based external triggers. External triggers be used to trigger flows when an event happens in an external system. External triggers enhance the experience for externally based inbound event-related flows. And we can use it in Workflow Studio. Okay, so that actually sounds pretty interesting. I could think of giving endpoint like Jira or Azure DevOps an external trigger to do something in ServiceNow, maybe. Sounds neat. Firefly connector from Work4Flow is a new release. Let's see what that's about. Firefly connector, bridging cloud streaming compliance. Integrate Firefly with ServiceNow to populate the CMDB. Okay, so it's funny. A lot of these third-party CMDB stuff, they'll start off like what you're seeing here, and then over time, the release notes, they'll get version, the release notes will update, and they'll be like, we're complying with the Service Graph Connector data model, so this might get renamed at some point, maybe a Service Graph Connector, but it's not right now. Forecast planning analysis is another new application. Let's check this one out. Navigate the uncertainty of constantly evolving ESG landscape by modeling and comparing multiple future scenarios. Um, that does not sound interesting to me at all. The ESG suite. I know what it is. I know what it's for. I just haven't spent a lot of time on it. Fujitsu Service Ops Launchpad. It's another third-party new release. Improves or implements ServiceNow ITSM ITOM capabilities. Oh, yeah, this is not an app. I don't know what category to give these because I really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. What I suspect is ServiceNow is asking their partners to put pre-built implementation services in the store. And so this one would be implementation of ITOM, ITSM, and what else? SSO, pre-configured notifications. So it's like a quick start or a pre-packaged offering from Fujitsu. It's not really an app. So you can learn more and the sales team will call you probably. But I don't have a category for that, so I just leave them as a new release. Google Meet spoke, healthcare operations core, HR multi-instance integration for consumer and provider, industrial process health, interaction control component. So this is ServiceNow. You can see the componentizing their stuff, enhancing customer and agent experiences and native call controls directly in the agent workspace. I think I saw that on a webinar yesterday for security operations. There was a launch a conference call button in the security incident workspace, maybe related. I don't know. Let's see. ITOM mobile agent. Why would we need a separate mobile agent app? Track alerts, view on-call schedules, and ensure teams have access to incidents on the go. It's an innovation lab offering, so this is beta. Interesting. Thought there was mobile agent stuff, but anyways. Matrix report. Is this the matrix? Maybe. Visualize data in a matrix format for easy interpretation. What is this dependent on? Doesn't require, just requires a system admin role. Can be used to relate data in a single view, commonly used for risk and controls matrix report in audit. So the audit application. So let's take a look at that. There's the report, configuration. What's the damn report look like? There it is. Okay, that's the report. Can I make it any bigger? Yeah, here we go. Risk number. It's almost like a list view. But it's like a, I don't know, that was weird. Not everything makes sense to me until I kind of see someone demo it and kind of show the use case. But all right, let's keep on going. Notifications for Employee Center. That's something new. What do we got here? My windows over there just changed sizes, so I'm just fixing that real quick. All right, notifications, stay informed with timely and relevant information. A unified notification experience that provides employees with timely and relevant information across multiple departments, promoting engagement and increasing productivity. So it's an employee center, works with HRSD, ITSM, LSD, and WSD. Those are the abbreviations for the words that are on the screen. Okay, cool. More stuff in Employee Center. Now Assist for Enterprise Architecture, Now Assist for IRM, Now Assist for RPA Hub, Software Asset Management, Workplace Service Delivery. So this is the continued expansion of AI within the platform that I don't know about you guys, but I can't get my hands on it because for some reason enabling the development community and the admin community seems to be less of a priority than it used to be for ServiceNow. So they release all this stuff and then we can't touch it, which is frustrating. And like they spend the whole Tech Now webinar focused on features that we can't put in our dev instances, we can't put in our PDIs. So yeah, I've been frustrated with that the past couple of releases, but it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. Operational technology hardware vulnerability assessment. That just sounds boring. Order management portal, part of sales and order management, I guess. Post-assessment actions for smart assessments. Okay. There's another component from Tenon, preview component. Product catalog management portal, product offering recommendations, recommended actions for OTSM. resizable panes component, retail task management core, safe IRMs connector. This is from another third party, so we'll give that some screen time here. Unified cyber risk quantification and management. I love, I love when vendors show like the configuration screens on the App Store. I mean, I get they want some screenshots maybe for the admin community to see it, but yeah, this is like the IRM suite application. Security incident response integration with Proofpoint, Service Graph connector for Netscope with a K, Netscope. Service Graph connector for Nokia Altiplano. Interesting. Service observability, ServiceNow add-ins for Microsoft 365, ServiceNow code signing standalone tool. What is this? I had someone ask me about code signing, or no, I saw a post in a Teams chat for one of the companies that I do business with, and they were asking about code signing. This tool is your go-to solution for signing ServiceNow application records locally with your private key, securely, efficiently, and independently of any ServiceNow instance. Designed for seamless cross-platform compatibility, it supports Windows, Mac OS, and Linux environments, providing an intuitive and streamlined installation process. Whether you're enhancing your code's integrity or ensuring compliance, this tool delivers a user-friendly experience backed by robust functionality. Works in synergy with the Code Signing Enterprise plugin. No screenshots, but interesting. All right, for all you developers out there. Smart assessment for field service, questionnaire, SN reusable impact framework. So these are sometimes how ServiceNow abbreviates their internal component applications. Remember I said they kind of scope them in their own scopes, and that's a big sign. I'll show you another one here if I go to, what page was I on? 61. Compatibilities, and yeah, see how these are like little components. That has the at sign in it, but then they'll drop that at dev NC eventually, and there's at now par. So you might have seen that before on the show. But all right, let's go back to those new releases. We were on 61. Okay. Snowflake spoke. Software asset management integration with SAP S4 HANA Cloud. SuccessFactors Learning spoke. Telecom discovery patterns. Threat hunting. That sounds fun. I want to hunt some threats. Empowering security operations, standardize threat hunts, and capture results effectively. It's Innovation Lab. So let's see. Submit a catalog request to propose a hunt idea. Perform triaging of the hunt and allocate resources for execution. Define the scope of the hunt. Oversee hunting scenarios and manage data collection related to resources and outcomes. And create an executive summary report. Requires the threat intelligence application plus test management. Oh my God, they're using the test management application. No one uses that application, at least not anybody who's needs to do actual testing, in my opinion. Triggers, that's a generic title for an application. Let's check that out. Save a set of trigger definitions as a reusable trigger that responds to an external event through webhooks. Yeah, we saw the external event application earlier, so this is just another piece of that. Sweet. I can't go to play with those triggers and external events. Upgrade management. What are we doing now with upgrades? Enables administrators to efficiently plan, monitor, and execute ServiceNow platform upgrades. Oh, how? Track and manage the upgrade status across multiple instances with real-time updates. Provide a centralized hub for all upgrade-related tools to support both guided and independent upgrade workflows. Integrate with a management interface framework to fetch status updates for all listed. What is the management interface framework? You guys heard of that? Let's never heard of this before. Let's check out this documentation site. I'm just going to search for that real quick. I certainly don't know everything, but I like to see what I'm missing. It's not showing up here. ServiceNow. In ServiceNow, management essentially refers to the underlying structure and tools that allow administrators to design and customize the user interface. But I don't know if I can just trust Gemini for this review. Key points. Where's the source for this? ServiceNow developers. That's the first time I've seen that reference. Interesting. Okay. Let's get back to here. Upgrade management, user experience analytics application, workplace health and safety localization, workplace service delivery professional. Professional? Good grief. More licensing nightmares. Deliver a modern workplace experience for employees and seamless management for workplace teams. It includes the following: case management, reservation management, calendar sync, indoor mapping, visitor management, workplace central, reservations for Microsoft Outlook add-in, service delivery with mapped-in integration, and workplace core. Okay. Okay. Was that it? That's all the new applications. I got through them all. Okay. Well, I did want to include that on the live stream because I hadn't really gone through them all yet. I glanced at them, but I hadn't really gone through them all. So let's show you my process. Didn't mean to hit that button. My process for everything that's not screened. So I made it to the D's. We're at 620 applications. And my process is this. I click the link to the store. I look at it, and I just right away I click the version history, and I can see this is a fix. And they fixed two things, and it's patch release. So you'll notice as we go through this, my first thing I do is click on the version history. The second thing I do is expand the last version before this version that came out. Oh, we got a newcomer, Joe. Sorry you're late. You could have just said hi. I wouldn't have known you were late. You've tattled on yourself, Joe. But I'm glad to have you here. So you just missed. I just got done going through all of the new applications for Yokohama Store Release 1. So that took us about 30 minutes. And I went through, I didn't go click on all of them, Joe, but that you may want to check out. That it might be more interesting than what you're about to see. So when I'm reviewing them, I pull up the last version because as you'll see, I use that to know what am I looking at the release notes, new release notes, or am I looking at a repeated release notes? Or did they try to rephrase stuff? So I've seen that happen a couple times. You might see that here, but this is purely just a fix. So I close that window, I double click here, mark that as a fix, and move on. And remember, I do this in batches of 10. So my goal is just like knock out 10 at a time and then move on to the next one. This is not a ServiceNow app. Let's check out what's in this one. We'll open that up. So they did actually change it. Focus on data quality, workplace improvements. Okay, they're calling it a minor release, and I could go out and read their full release notes. Let's get rid of that period there, which I sometimes do just to see if like there's something else that they forgot to put in. I've seen a couple people say that there's a character limit in there. Okay, new features. Enable two-step commit flow for remediation. A data compliance change. A slew of enhancements. And some bug fixes. So that is a lot more than, this is version 6.1 on the 30th of January, 6.1. Yeah, so there's a lot in this one. So I'm going to call this based on, I didn't go through all of this, but based on that, I'm just going to call that a highlight that, hey, someone out there may actually be interested in that information. So highlight being a category of, hey, pay attention to this. It's not just a fix. It's not just a minor update. There might be something cool there for you to discover or learn. Data discovery. Let's see. AI machine learning based data patterns for intelligent discovery of sensitive data that doesn't allow pattern like name, address, etc. discovery and reporting of sensitive data from attachments. Yeah, I'm going to call that a minor update. They called it a major release, but I don't agree with everything they do. So I'm going to call that a minor update. And data grid UI component. These typically don't have release notes, but I'll check anyways. Ooh, it does. Improve keyboard navigation, project workspace grid, improve the group by user experience, fixes, a couple of fixes. Yep, that's a minor update. Let's mark that. Data loss prevention incident response was updated. Oh, Lord. And yeah, actually new stuff. New playbook feature in the DLP workspace evidence file, preview with download option, field renaming, improved incident consolidation rules, and a couple of fixes. So they're calling it minor. I'm going to call it a highlight. Some good stuff in there. Data model for order management. What did they do there? New subscription revenue metrics on order. Yeah, so this is a great example. Let's go back 3 versions. Yeah, so they released, it's interesting. The same day they released 12.1.0 and 12.2.0. I'm going to call it a minor update. Yeah, Yokohama's a major release, but it's a very small change. So minor update. Data model for SBOM. Software bill of materials, for those of you that didn't know what that was. Enhancements to support deleting BOM entity records and their related components from the software bill of materials workspace with a bulk edit. That's a minor update. Let's see. Data privacy. We got here. Version 6. View anonymized journal fields and classic UI. This is not a major release. It's a minor update. See all this hard work I do for you? Get rid of the noise so you're not distracted by little small updates like that. Data relationships framework. Change performance improvement for node configurations. All right, minor update. Data visualizations. Oh, Lord. Bunch of fixes. Was there really that much broken with the data visualizations? Let's look at this real quick. X-axis now uses short labels instead of long labels. Follow filters, resolved an issue. Okay, so I bet there's like at least a dozen admins out there that has something in here that they want. And so rather than calling this a fix, I'm actually going to call it a highlight, even though there's a bunch of fixes. It's just a lot of fixes. So that was my batch of 10. You see my count there went to 610. And I have a little notebook here on the side where I just keep track of, for my own like pat on the back. How many did I review today? I think yesterday I did 60 yesterday. I'm up to 50 today. Yeah, it just takes time to move through all these. But that's the basic process. So that's what you're not seeing. If you watch a ServiceNow Store Highlights video, there's a lot of work that goes into it. Most of it, for most of the episodes, it's less than 100 apps, and so you can get done in a weekend. But when there's big ones like this, it takes a while to get through them all. So we'll see what they did with Decision Builder. Wow. Enhanced draft authoring and define input variables, create condition columns, create reset columns, create decision tables, decision rules, condition results. Yeah, this is going to be a highlight. Use Microsoft Excel, use the testing feature to scenario tests, code snippet, duplicate decision. Yeah, lots going on with that one. Lots of enhancements. Let's highlight it. Decision table builder. Let's see, probably maybe a repeat of everything there. Nope, it's got its own release notes. Yeah, we can go with minor on that one. Minor update. Uh-oh, Joe left, what did Joe put? Is that? What is that? What did you put on the screen, Joe? Make that bigger. A fish? A fish emoji? Like a Finding Nemo? Now your picture's showing up. I don't know if it showed up before, but okay. Deployment pipeline. I never really pay attention to this thing because I don't use it. See App Engine Studio product for release notes. So what I typically do when I see this, an App Engine is one of them that has like, there's an App Engine Studio app, and then there's like hundreds, maybe not hundreds, tens of maybe 50, 60 sub applications, and they'll all do this. They'll put the C App Engine Studio product for release notes. Is usually what they do. So when I see this, I just call it a either a minor update, or like if it was a regular episode, it'd just be a minor update, like minor release. But when it's a new release like Yokohama or Vancouver or Washington, I'll actually call this a compatibility. So they're incrementing that version of the application to be compatible with the new release, and that's how I categorize it. So my compatibility update metric you can see there is pretty high. Because I've already gone through most of the UI builder and data visualization and some of the App Engine stuff. So it's already actually pretty high. And that'll keep creeping up as I move through. DevOps change velocity, one of my favorite applications. Support for proactive health scans, harness tool integration with ServiceNow, simplified onboarding of orchestration tools that are not supported in the base system. Custom fields for planning tool integration, enhanced lead time calculation, and improved in-product guidance for effective self-service adaptation. I'm going to call that a highlight. DevOps data model, probably version to keep up with that. Nope, it's the same release notes as the previous one, so we'll keep that as a highlight. Feature flag integrations, split feature flag integration with ServiceNow DevOps. Bug fixes. Some bug fixes. All right. DevOps Insights, that's the reporting. If you used the DevOps application before, no code updates were made in this release. This release number has been updated to maintain consistency with changes in related DevOps applications. And that means for us, it's a compatibility update. They're just trying to keep it going. It might be for all of these. Integration with Argo CD. Yep, same thing on that one. Compatibility update. DevOps integrations. Harness tool integration. This is the same release notes that we saw for the other one. So, all right, John Kelly. Great channel and content. Keep up the good work. Strong arm emoji, fist bump, and hand clap. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate that. Appreciate the feedback. Means a lot to me. I put a lot of work into all this stuff, and so when people say nice things, I sincerely appreciate it. So thank you. Thank you for watching. Thanks for taking the time to actually leave a comment. I appreciate that. All right, so we're going to call this one highlight 2 to match those other 2 for change velocity and data model. And let's see, vulnerability integrations. What do we got here? Harness tool integration. Okay, and some bug fixes. We'll call that one a minor update. The DevOps workspace, which I haven't been in probably like a year, even though I love the application. Same release notes as the DevOps change velocity. So I'm just going to highlight that one. Did I hit 10? Yes. Oh, I did 11. Oops. Okay, so 60 for the day so far, and 99 more. The DEX application and device health. DEX is the digital end user experience. Let's see, it's version 2. Oh my lord. I love when there's good release notes. But see what they've done here? That was, oh, they released it and withdrew it. Okay, so what was before that? Some defect fixes. Okay, so this version came out Thursday, and then they withdrew it and re-released it later on Thursday. Digital Experience Score, which we saw that scoring application in the new releases. Provision for digital end user experience service desk agent to take actions on a device. Application network experience, new in metrics monitoring, system compliance score, enhanced memory monitoring, user application CPU consumption, disk performance charts metric energy consumption for Mac OS. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I want to play with that one. I haven't messed around with that application at all. Desktop assistant, assuming this is a always on desktop app. Push notifications for major incident management on the desktop assistant, and push notification for proactive engagement. Looks like the same pattern there. It was released and re-released on Thursday. Okay, we'll call this a minor update since they're calling it a patch release. Diagram builder. If you saw my live stream of the enterprise architecture, I did some diagram building live. I believe this is the same application. It's used for different things. But let's see what they've introduced. A new role, enhanced drag and drop functionality in the diagram component within the UIB platform, a sample demo experience showcasing diagram builder capabilities within UI Builder, changed some ACLs, and fixed a node focus issue. So let's go with a minor update for this one. Digital integration management. I think I did also touch on this in a live stream for enterprise architecture. There's a fix. Added a new workspace view to the digital integration table to fix an issue with a preview of records. Okay, easy enough. Digital operational resilience management. Let's see, added drop-down functions to 8 door Excel templates and a bunch of fixes. We'll call that a minor update for that one. Digital portfolio management. Let's see. New troubleshooting tab in the DPM admin center. Retired non-operational services no longer show up, and updated various images to be themable and some fixes. We'll go with a minor update for digital portfolio management. Digital product release. This is the replacement for release management that's being deprecated. So let's see what they're doing. Create releases for multi-products, have a parent-child relationship, link incidents, problems, and catalog requests and other task types. Oh, that's cool. Added the assignment group field on the product feature and product enhancements forms, ability to auto-create releases from Agile 2.0. That's cool. So there's tighter integration with digital product release and Agile, and updated policies, content to support the multi-product releases. Cool. Call that a highlight. You should go check that out if you haven't messed around with this app yet and you use leave a comment. Do you actually use the old release management? I actually did when I was at the hospital. I didn't use it. I tried to get the what was it, the clinical informatics team to use it because they had like these um, huge test suites of like scripts or Excel spreadsheets of things they have to test when they upgrade electronic medical record. And so I was trying to get them to use release management with test management, and I never convinced them. They were when you have like a complex process like that and they understand the spreadsheet and the process is working, it's really hard to convince people to learn a new tool just for the sake of reporting and tracking, because then you're insulting them. Like, what, are my reports not good enough? Did I not tell you? So it's just a hard sell, and I never successfully sold them. But let's see, updated existing tables and added new tables to support the multi-product release. Okay, they're calling it major. I'm going to call it a minor update for the data model. And release policy content pack. Update policy content for multi-product. Okay, the minor update. And I think that's our next batch of 10 to bring us to 590 left to review. Digital product release workspace. I didn't know they had a workspace. Interesting. Let's see. Support for multi-product release, support for task types. We'll call that a minor update. Digital signature component is the next one. Track new event clear signature and added timestamps to events. So they're calling it major. I'm going to call it a minor update. Ask user for a signature for important documents or other artifacts. Must be part of HR, or is it this is a platform app used probably by multiple ones? Okay, so minor update. Discovery admin workspace, another app I want to play with and just haven't had time. Ooh, a bunch of fixes. Fix, and remove. Let's see, any interesting fixes? App update version, service mapping workspace, missing SNMP access devices, improved load times. They've been busy. I'm going to go with a highlight because, again, that level of fixes, could be highly impactful for admins out there. So we'll highlight it to bring it to their attention, to see if a bug that they've been experiencing is fixed. That's always my biggest fear too, is like, I know there's now support and you can open up tickets, but sometimes when something just doesn't work, it just doesn't work and you kind of move on. So bringing visibility to, hey, there's fixes out for this stuff. I try to highlight those if I can. Oh my goodness, what in the world? Okay, minor release, introducing a new pattern for 27 AWS services, which is disabled in the base system. Out of the box, the primary CI class for this pattern will be CMP_resource. These attributes can be accessed via the left navigator menu under configuration and then AWS. So there they are. So if you're using AWS in Discovery, you might be interested in this. Let's see if I'm using some of the stuff in AWS, but nothing. I do have an IAM policy. I have an IAM user and a role. I use S3. Nothing that would help me though, so interesting. Okay, this is going to be a highlight too. Look at all these fixes, guys. AWS, Azure, Google, MS SQL. Oh my word. They are rocking it. And see, here's where I doubt the character limit. So like certain third parties will say they don't put their release notes here because there's the character limit. But then here's like a tons of information from ServiceNow on this app that does not seem to be limited by characters. Discovery for operational technology. Now you can see sometimes what I have to deal with. So in a normal episode, this would be a fail, release notes fail. But I know this is a Yokohama release, so I'm just going to do this as a compatibility update and move on and not call attention out as a fail. Dispute rules content pack for MasterCards as part of the financial service operations application. Updated references of old questionnaire tables. Look at that. You're seeing it live. That's the same release notes from back in November. They just didn't bother to update them. So that is definitely a release notes fail. I think that's our third one. Yeah, only 3 so far. Let's look at the other one for Visa. See if they did the same thing. No, see, they actually updated it this time. Removed Visa dispute intake and changed updated references. So they're calling it major. I'm going to call it a minor update. And thank you for the team that did the Visa one versus the MasterCard for having release notes and not saying not applicable. DLP incident response, they didn't say not applicable, they just had repeated ones. Incident response integration with ICAP. Evidence file preview with download option, added a preview icon for evidence file. Okay, icon plus a fix is a minor update. And integration with Microsoft. Same thing, minor update. One more for the batch of 10. And this one is same thing, minor update, added preview icon. Yeah, those are easy. Sometimes it is what it is. There's not a lot, I haven't figured out, I think it's the fall release. There's one of the releases, and I'm probably going to say this wrong, where I see much more kind of like cleaning up and like, moving things along versus like major feature drops. And it might vary by product team now that I think about it. But there does seem to be a pattern of one release is kind of the cleanup, fixing release, one release of the year. So if it's the twice yearly one, if it's a store app, they can release anytime. But these major updates, like we're going through today, sometimes one of them will be focused on major features, and the next one will be like fixes and stuff like that. So same thing with this one, minor update. Let's see, integration response with integration with Symantec. Same thing, minor update. Okay, this is an example of an App Engine Studio related application document approval app template. And it's going to say to see the App Engine Studio release notes. So we're going to call it a compatibility update. There, you got to see one live when this come through. Document intelligence, what did they do there? I was just talking to someone the other day who knew about this application before it was in ServiceNow. Issues with the draw tool, so that's going to be a fix. Document intelligence admin, fix. And while I'm thinking about it, guys, everyone, we're getting close to time, so I'll stop the stream at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1900 UTC. But if you have questions or comments before we close out, got 7 more minutes, drop them in the chat, YouTube or LinkedIn. I'm monitoring both. So if you just want to say hey, or if you want me to go like to a different part of the alphabet, like you're here watching and you're like, damn, he's never going to get to the S's. Tell me, I'll go to the S's. Leave a comment. It's just, I have to get through 575 more. It doesn't matter what order I do it in. So if you want to go look for something, I'll go with you. We'll spelunk together. This is a minor bug fix. We'll call it a fix. Document templates. Probably gonna be more fixes. Yep. Minor bug fixes and security enhancements. I'll comment on that one. This is Justin talking, not, I don't speak for ServiceNow. This is great in that we know there's fixes, right, that happen, but this is better, right? This right here, from an admin perspective, is better than this, right? So if I get the application in my instance and I hit that upgrade button, I need to test that application to make sure it still works like it's supposed to. So this is much more helpful in that I know what I need to look for or what to make sure is working correctly than it is this. So even though I don't call it a release notes fail, it kind of is a release notes fail because now the admin's going to have to figure out, is this working like it should, or did it break something? Or did the thing that didn't work before still not work, or is it fixed? There's no way to know because they didn't list it out. Anyways, this one, added triggers that will show up in the trigger picker. It's fun to say, trigger picker, while authoring flows to trigger flows based on DocuSign events, and the triggers are only available Xanadu and onward releases. I guess that's a pretty big feature, this concept of a trigger. And DocuSign makes sense, right? It's an external system. So I'm going to highlight that one. Here we got a third-party update, Education Operations Institutus. It's an interesting name. Yeah, there you see it live. Another release notes fail. So they haven't released anything since July. And that was their initial release. And so come along January of 2025, and they failed to tell us what's new. What likely happened for this one. And in fact, I'll probably update it to, we'll call this one a compatibility update, is notice that they've added Xanadu. So basically, they've recertified their app for Xanadu. So we'll cut them a break and call this a compatibility update. Here's another App Engine Studio application. So probably going to be the same there. Yep. Compatibility update. And that was our latest batch of 10. Make my note on my notebook. Man, I'm up to 90 applications today. You guys were here for like 40 of those. Yeah, 40. Let's see if we can knock out 10 more in the 4 minutes. Don't forget, leave a comment if you want me to go somewhere else. In fact, let me just do it. I'm going to go somewhere else. Let's go to 200 and see what we see. We're in the M's. Okay, let's go to, M's are boring. 300. Process mining pack, that sounds boring. Recommended actions, that sounds boring. Let's see, 400. All right, let's knock out 10 here. Service operations workspace UI components was updated. Add the ability to stimulate or simulate. What's on my brain? All grouping types and alert automation. Introduced a help log data alerts import. Added support for network traffic. Introduced a new link view visualization. Added the add alerts group. Yeah, this is a highlight. They're calling it minor, but I'm gonna call it a highlight. That sounds pretty cool. Service reliability management. SRM. Add support for technical service offerings. Introduce slow-based. Okay, minor update. There's another App Engine Studio. Let's see. Joe says SOW sounds like a good place to start. That's what I did. We're in SOW. Service request management app templates. Adds a compatibility update for App Engine Studio. Let's go back to what Joe is saying. So it looks like I left service operations. So let's go back one view. Oh, there we go. Good grief. All right, so we can knock out 7 more in 3 minutes. Workspace Admin Center. Look at all those apps. That is crazy. So Service Operations Workspace. This is at least, that's 19 different applications, plus the one on the previous screen that are all comprising this one application. So what do they do in the Admin Center? Enhancements to incident management properties and added ability to onboard service desk agents. So we'll call that minor update. Alert automation workspace or alert automation. Let's see. Add the ability to group alerts by CI attributes. Add the ability to consider other grouping algorithms and added a warning when they enrich automation. Okay, minor update on that one. Let's get out of the alert stuff. Let's go core. Workspace core. Because I can turn Joe's comment off there. Support for configuration auto expand. Error banner messages. Created a UX page. Okay, minor release. Wait, what's that one? Workspace express lists. I had a customer last year that loved this application because it kind of like democratizes the event management back out to the teams, is how he phrased it. Simulate all grouping types and alert automation grouping, support network traffic correlation, new link view, added alerts to group action, introduce a new role. Yeah, we'll stick with that, what they called it, a minor release on that one. Make sure that they didn't repeat anything. Yep. Let's go down here to ITOM apps. How many more do I need before we end? 3 more. It's so close. ITOM apps. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. I know we're getting close to time here. If you're interested in more of this, I have a YouTube channel, and I'm on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Threads, all those places. My blog, justin.house, justin.house, has a post for every video that I make. Really appreciate you guys coming along and supporting me, supporting the channel, support for a signing service desk. Okay, I'm going to call that a minor update. And yeah, I'll put on the video, the closing out video after I do this one last one. But there's a QR code on that video. If you scan it, it'll take you to a page that shows all of my socials, how to follow me wherever. So this is going to be a compatibility update. So check me out there. And if there's anything you ever want to see demoed, definitely shoot me a note, send me a message on LinkedIn, whatever, to possibly be a demo topic. In fact, I was talking to Joe earlier this week about one for next week. So I definitely am interested if you guys have different ideas. So that's it. We'll call it 2 p.m. 1900 UTC. Thank you guys for watching. I'll finish the rest of these on my own before Monday. So look for a good episode of ServiceNow Store Highlights on Monday. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for support, and we'll talk soon.